Got that. Okay. Hey. Hello. Everybody have a good long weekend? What? Wait a minute. Tom Benton? Is he joining us from Paris?
I
What?
doubted. Good time, Tom. He
Good
must be
time,
home.
Tom. Must be home. What the heck? I thought this man was. Wait a minute. Aren't you supposed to be in Paris?
I'm here, direct from Paris.
Oh, he does have the background. Sorry, just gave you away.
That's why you look so noodly and relaxed.
Exactly. I've been eating well, drinking well.
I love it. When did you get back?
Friday. It's all a blur. Friday night.
Okay. Oh, so you better be here then if you got back Friday night.
Exactly.
For goodness sakes. Yes.
And I newsflash. I love the Parisians. They're great, fantastic. Couldn't have been
You're
nice.
the only one, Tom.
Okay, you might have to be a party of one on this.
Maybe I need to write a book about how to deal with Parisians.
I think you might.
You must, because man, my experience was
not
tragic, man.
Yeah, mine was not good.
I got yelled at. I got bullied.
I got completely ignored and ghosted walking into a store with money to spend.
You're kidding. No, it didn't happen. In fact, we had a couple of instances. Now, we were quite confused at this time, but like Parisians who couldn't speak English, they were trying to help us, like taking the time to get us to the right metro or where to buy the ticket.
Yeah.
I
had a good experience there with my partner, and like getting sent off with free cognac at the end of the night, our last night there.
That proposition by a Spaniard that wanted to fly me to Spain with him.
Oh, well, there you go.
There was that. In one of the famous Champs-Élysées.
Wow.
That's always bolstering, even if you're going to turn down that offer.
Well, it was me and my girlfriend, and we were teenagers, and he was buying us coffee. We were like, sure, because we're teenagers on a budget, so we're letting this guy. And then it's like, kind of wanted us to go to Spain with him. It's like, no, we gotta go now. Peace.
You were probably a wise choice, but still.
Yeah, you would have ended up white slaving somewhere.
Oh, absolutely, no question about it. No.
So have you been back more recently?
No. I was a teenager.
I think I have a working theory. This is based on nothing but my own experience.
Okay.
That the younger generation of Parisians they're just done with all of that other stuff. Like, they speak English, they know that I don't speak French, and they're fine with it. Let's just start speaking English. So
okay, I'm gonna go with your theory. I still don't plan. There's other places I'd rather visit if I'm going over there than Paris, only because it left a taste in my mouth. I would rather go to other places.
When I was in the Czech Republic, I was in a little town, and I asked them to make a drink like a signature drink that I did for the Sympathizer back in the day. And they had all the ingredients, and I go, but only if you want to. I don't want to be an ugly American. And they go, no. You Americans aren't the ugly ones now. It's the Russians.
Maybe that's it.
So I was like,
they have other people to hate now. They have other people to hate.
Bullet.
Okay, I have to tell you, although, what I did last night. I went and saw Babbitt at the La Jolla Playhouse.
Oh, fun.
Which is starring Matthew Broderick. And it was really good. But 1924 stuff that was going on in 1924, that play and book and script could have been written yesterday.
Wow.
I have to admit, though, I couldn't quite get over seeing Ferris Bueller.
Is it a musical?
No, straight play.
Straight play. Okay.
Which I was thinking to myself, it's like, it had been a long time since I've seen just a play. I had, because usually we go to musicals, just a straight play. But I can't even, so long, I can't even remember the last time I saw just a straight play that wasn't a musical. Very good, though. Like, one of the supporting cast was somebody that was from Sex and the City, an actress from Veep. So very seasoned, really good professional actors. Very good.
Well, that was the La Jolla Playhouse?
La Jolla Playhouse. So I think they're like, I don't know what they do at La Jolla Playhouse. It's like, I know, like a test run to get it to Broadway.
Yeah, a lot of their stuff goes on to Broadway.
It's a green springboard place.
Yeah, springboard for Broadway. So it was good though, but I have to admit, it was kind of fun. I mean, it's kind of fun because we had great seats and it was kind of fun seeing Matthew Broderick. So it was kind of a good one. All right. We should probably get going because we got lots of you and lots of good books. So let me put my screen share on in case any of you need that. Where did it go? God, I swear every week, you guys, every week. So it's gonna go Julia, Andrea, Gabe, and Tom. So Julia, start us off.
Okay. Sorry. I was
Not ready for me to go so
together. I know.
I was jabbering. I was still jabbering on.
So I have a couple of gifty books again, since we're officially in the gift buying season. The first one came out in May, but it's from Artisan Press, called The Joy of Oysters. And a very funny story is that I bought this book for my mother before I started working at Hachette, and then for Christmas. So I hope she doesn't watch this, but because I haven't given it to her yet. But then I got to Hachette and I was like, oh, that's ours. Like, how great. So it's a great book. I also, a fact that maybe I can't remember if I've shared on here or not, is that my father was an oyster man, owned an oyster business, was an oyster farmer for a long time. So I grew up partially on an oyster farm, and then ran a catering company with oysters that I actually ran in college. So I know an absolute ton about oysters. And this book is the book. It is so good. It is, I mean, everything from how to buy oysters and how to shuck an oyster, how to make sauces. There's the reason that I bought it for my mom is there's a great section on oyster plates, which she collects. My old bedroom is now full of antique oyster plates. So this is just, it's got recipes for how to make certain kinds of oysters. So for if you are wanting to kind of doing things with oysters, even if it's not like, if you don't want to shuck them and eat them yourself, this is a great book about sort of like oysters in general. It's awesome. I highly recommend it. And this is an area that I know quite a lot about. So
I love it. I hope there's a spoiler alert. I hope your mom's not watching. So
I know.
Spoiler alert, Mom.
Mom, forget what you heard anything.
And no place better than to collect oyster plates than New Orleans. The vintage ones. They have amazing. I mean, I wasn't even into oysters but it was like they were so beautiful. I was like, I think I need to buy one of these.
I know.
They're so cool.
I totally almost bought her some when I was there, and then I was like, you could both not afford this nor ship it back, so stop immediately.
Stop immediately, but they are super cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Super cool. Okay, I think let me go look at Facebook. Yeah, okay, so you're still up next, even though my Zoom has changed. So Andrew, you're still up next.
Okay. Okay, I want to talk about
hello, congratulations on this.
Thank you, by Paul Lynch. This is the Booker Prize winner for 2023, just announced in London town last night. This is from Atlantic Monthly Press, which is the sister press to Grove, of course, and we are pretty excited about this book. Obviously, I mean, you know, this is our fourth Booker Prize title since 2019, which, you know, that ain't too shabby considering that there's a lot of amazing publishers in this country.
Did you miss a year?
Pardon me?
Did you miss a year? It seems like it's been nonstop.
Yeah, we missed last year. We missed last year, even though Claire Keegan was up for it with Foster. But yeah, so the Booker Prize 2023 judges says that this is timely and unforgettable. It's a remarkable accomplishment for a novelist to capture the social and political anxieties of our moment so compellingly. And boy, let me tell you, that is so very true. This is set in a near future Ireland, which is under the control of an authoritarian government that slowly but surely starts to bring the hammer down. The iron fist comes down, and this is told through the lens of one mother whose husband disappears. He's an academic and a scientist, and so of course, you know, those folks are one of the first groups to go under authoritarian rule. So he disappears one day, and she has to do whatever she can to keep her family safe. It is harrowing and riveting from page 1 to the end, and a little too close for comfort at times, I must say. You know, you're talking about Babbitt in 1924. Well, this in some unknown and near future time in Ireland has a lot of echoes to what's going on actually all over the world. The writing's great. Colin McCann has an amazing quote for this book. I haven't read a book that has shaken me so intensely in many years. The comparisons are inevitable. Saramago, Orwell, McCarthy. But this novel will stand entirely on its own, not only as a beautifully written warning of how the human heart can get twisted, but also as a tribute to the power of love in the face of terrible reality. Really beautiful quote right there. Nice cover. We have the Colin McCann quote on the cover. And of course, it's getting, you know, I mean, like the poor Grove head publicist, Deb Seeger, she is getting inundated with calls, and there'll be reviews everywhere, features off and on the book page. So everywhere you turn, you're going to see information about this. And it's exciting. It's going to sell through the holidays and beyond. And congratulations, Paul Lynch.
Yep.
And Atlantic Monthly Press and all the fine editorial team at Grove that realized that they needed to acquire this for the American
amazing
market.
No, cannot wait to read that one. That's definitely on my list.
Yep.
All right, Gabe.
I am going to share the screen. Sebastian Barry was a big fan of Paul Lynch's previous book, if I recall correctly.
And who? I mean, you're mentioning all my boyfriends: Colin McCann, Sebastian Barry.
I know the last couple. I mean, the last few Sebastian Barrys have been pretty knockouts too.
Oh, he's amazing.
Amazing.
So I'm talking to you about Michael Faber today, and Michael Faber is known as a novelist, a fabulist of sorts. He's got this very creative and fertile mind that is all over the place. So this is just, you know, an intellectual meandering and his thoughts on music and what we listen to and why we listen to things, what the brain is. But, you know, the basic message is music helps round us out like literature does. Music does the same thing for us. So step outside of your comfort zone. Don't just listen to what's cool. Don't just listen to what's in your age group. I mean, I know people who still listen to nothing but like 80s music.
Yes.
I know people who still listen to nothing but like the same 8 REO Speedwagon and Blue Oyster Cult songs.
Or Eagles. I got family members who only listen to the frickin' Eagles.
You know, so there's these eras that people get caught up in, and he understands that. He talks about also, you know, the music that sets your mind into this you're reliving your past at a certain point when you hear certain music puts you in certain places, so music has that smell and music that puts you in places. So you know, just a thoughtful thought on culture and thoughtful writings on culture, music. Like I said, opening up to eras and genres, and he does mention things. He tries not to be too judgmental, but there is such a thing as bad taste, and you should differentiate between good and bad taste. But not too pompous, not as pompous as you would think. I thought it was a pretty sensible conversation. I had a whole conversation in my head the other day about that Monsters Among Us, about the artists who have done despicable things. And I
Yeah.
was kind of like, do I need to
Oh,
read
yeah.
that? I've got my own dialogue going on about my problems. Do I need to? Anyways, got me thinking about the topic again. But that's what he does. He gets your brain working, and ultimately, the most important instrument, the most important part of all of this is your brain. And listen to something that's going to crank up your brain a little bit and add some crinkles to your brain. So something fun. I think it's a good little recommend.
Oh yeah, that's a great gift book.
Yep.
He's amazing. I sold one of his big fat novels, The Crimson Petal and The White, from Candygate back in the day. And then a beautiful collection of poetry called Undying, which was a meditation on grief after he lost his wife. I mean, the guy can write in any format, any genre that you're looking for. So, I mean, what a great gift book that you have here.
Yeah, really good. And that's the thing with music, Gabe, and I agree completely. Nothing ages you more than just listening to the same kind of music. It's
Right.
like you've got to stay up with, like, I mean, not to say that I like all the stuff that comes out right now, but I still try to listen to current music.
Yeah.
Because it really is
also explore older stuff. Let's say you have never been into opera. You can always just say, hey,
right.
I want to check out, opera. I mean, it doesn't have to be necessarily new, just something different for your brain.
Yeah. Love it.
I do the same thing, Julie. I listen to new stuff. Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
I think it's part of what the culture, it's part of what,
is.
yeah.
It totally is.
I'm so cool, right?
You are. We already knew that.
That's what my kids would say. Oh, Mom, you're so cool. It's like,
Oh yeah.
did you read my lips there? Anyway. Okay, Tom. Tom, before we go to you though, hold on. Kim, not you, Kim DeVoe, but the other Kim on here has read just finished The Vulnerables.
Great.
She said delightful.
Oh.
A writer's writer for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, is that what you're talking about, Kim?
Oh, good.
I love it. All right.
Loved
Before we
it.
get to you, Kim, we'll go to Tom.
I thought you were going to say that Kim had read My Name is Barbara, because I would be pretty quick to have gotten through My Name is Barbara. But you thought that I was not going to talk about My Name is Barbara again when I have the book, finally.
Wait, is Mike Nichols on? I'm not sure I hear you correctly.
Yes, this may not be the last time I talk about My Name is Barbara.
We'll see her again.
We're gonna have a drinking game. Where's our tequila? Every time Tom mentions Barbara, we got to drink.
And then the other thing I wanted to say to Gabe, like, maybe you want to listen to some Broadway. Barbara Streisand.
Right.
Brings it to you. We don't listen to
Bee
enough
Gees,
Broadway.
Some Bee Gees and Barbara.
Yes, right, exactly. It's time to celebrate Barbara Streisand now that the book is, we all just see. I'm just so happy that it's a book.
It's so heavy.
It is. I'll stop lifting it. And it's a smash. I mean, the reviews are fantastic. Charming, chatty, clearly her voice. That's what comes through, both in the book itself, the audio, which she read, the longest author read audio in PRH history. So probably everyone's history, I would think. It's how many other contenders could there be? It's 48 hours on audio, but it's like having Barbara tell you stories.
Oh, I might have to go buy it on audio.
Me too. Me too.
The New Yorker calls it the mother of all memoirs. Yes. And then this was I keep looking at the reviews because they keep coming. Slate posted a review today, and it was by I assume a young woman who didn't know much about Barbara Streisand, knew like the bare minimum, and was like, I am gonna read this book. I'm probably not gonna like it, but I'm gonna set aside 16 hours. That's what she decided it would take to read this book. Not all in a row, but 16 hours, and then review it. So this is how she ends her review. There's also plenty of celebrity gossip to sustain you along the way. She had romances with Marlon Brando, Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, 28 years younger Andre Agassi, to name a few. all before her current blissfully happy 25-year marriage to James Brolin, and she can't remember whether she slept with Warren Beatty, but it's possible. There is her fascinating and tragic relationship with her mother, too, a woman who could never bring herself to express pride in Streisand. And as a casual reader, you need these juicy bits because there's a lot more technical material here for the true film and musical theater nerds. But as the 10th hour slid into the 11th, then the 12th, my primary feeling wasn't boredom, it was fandom. Long live Barbra Streisand. May she write 1,000 pages more. So this is my new favorite review.
That's really good.
I love that. I love that.
And it was on the New York Times Top 100 list of best books of the year. And we still have, I'm crossing my fingers because tomorrow the New York Times announces the top 10, which comes out of that 100. Maybe Barbra Streisand will be in the top 10.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll continue to be drinking.
Exactly. If she is, I will be talking about her next week.
Great cover. I saw, you guys should YouTube this. Colbert interviewed her. It's amazing that he got access, and it's got to be on YouTube.
I got to see that.
So charming.
Wow.
It's amazing. Like, he sings. She wants him to come into the studio.
He's actually very talented.
Yeah, that guy's like a brilliant man.
Yeah.
But it is a nice little publicity piece for this book, really.
Oh, that's great. I will definitely check that out.
Oh yeah,
that and the CBS Sunday Morning thing with Gayle King, I think was.
Yeah, it was really.
I missed that one too. All right, we gotta get going here. Kim, what you got?
Well, already. Okay, so I was a huge fan of Sigrid Nunez's previous book, What Are You Going Through? And I'm finally reading her new book, The Vulnerables. When Tom talked about it a few weeks ago, he convinced me to give it a go, even though I've been avoiding novels set during the pandemic. And it's just a delight. I'm loving it. It's funny and sweet and poignant. And it's totally like eavesdropping on her brain. And it involves an older woman writer and teacher who agrees to live in a friend of a friend's sort of luxury apartment during the pandemic, beginning of the pandemic, to look after their pet bird, Eureka, after the previous bird sitter kind of walked out, kind of bailed. And soon the previous bird sitter, of course, returns, this handsome Gen Z vegan, and they become housemates during the pandemic. And the novel is all about human connection and the nature of memory, the passage of time, and the purpose of writing. And it's just so fun. And I don't know, like her writing is just astonishing. Like, every sentence is this juicy nugget. And anyway, I just loved it and highly recommend. And it's a really quick read.
Yeah, it is a quick
read.
A quick read, but a really good read.
I just loved it. And a total surprise, Tom. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. I'm
you.
so happy to hear it.
She's so good. She's
so good. And anyway, sorry.
All right. Awesome. All right, and not to go back to Barbara again, but we have some comments going on about Barbara so we're going back.
Let's go back to Barbara. I'm happy to.
So Amanda put the YouTube link for the Stephen Colbert thing, Andrea. There's 5 installments.
Of course there are.
Oh wow.
Oh my God. All right, Julia.
Well, let me add one. Can I add one more thing?
Wait, I got to get something to drink.
Yeah, get your drinks. Okay. I can't remember whether it's Interview Magazine or some other online magazine. They have compiled their own, like, online magazines have compiled their own index, because as we know, that famously there's no index, but people have spent time going through to provide an index. So that's how obsessed.
I love that.
Isn't that great?
That's amazing.
The index is the art of the index. That's an actual thing, like what to include, how to categorize. And
how fun is that?
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you guys know Maris Kreitzman, who is a reviewer and she runs a great podcast. She's been listening to it and tweeting about it. And this morning she said, 5 hours on Yentl alone in the audiobook, and she was like, I could have listened to 5 more. So
That's hysterical. Wow. Yentl,
Yeah,
man,
She
blast
likes
from the
oysters
past.
too, Julia.
I know. Well,
Well,
she's
all
got
right.
good taste. She's got
Let's
good
go,
taste. Okay, so I am this is a big gift book.
Ooh.
You can see it's got a big price point of $150. So it's a gift book for people, but I think this is so cool. This is Philip Glass Piano Etudes. The complete folios 1 through 20 and essays from 20 fellow artists. So you can see it's this gorgeous package from Artisan Press. You sort of lift up the top, and this little
Oh,
there's
cool.
this little collection of essays, and this is all sorts of people, Ira Glass, Alice Waters, like all these people talking about Philip Glass and his music. And then for the musician in your life, there's sheet music to all of Philip Glass's piano etudes. And so this is just a wonderful gift item. I think it's a really special gift for, I think it's definitely not for everyone. Oh yeah, Martin Scorsese writes an essay about him, about Glass's music. It's just a gorgeous book, and I think one that, like, it's niche, but definitely for the people who are in that niche, a really important, lovely gift item. So just something for the holiday shopping needs of people. I can't overstate how beautiful it is.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, I finally saw it for the first time like last week, and to watch people sort of like pour over it and touch it and like be very like reverent towards it was it was fun experience.
Yeah,
so.
love it. I mean, I absolutely love that. And I think you're right. It's going to be a fantastic gift book for sure. I think,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think we have one at the store. I'm not sure though, but I
think you might, but you definitely, if people order it on your website, they'll get it in time.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Perfect.
Fun to
Okay.
get your team to
Gabe,
mess with.
what you got for us, Gabe?
Isn't it me?
Oh, I'm sorry. See,
Sandra.
when you went off screen, Andrea, it messed up my Zoom. So
I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It just messes. It shows different on Facebook than it does on Zoom.
No worries.
Okay.
I want to talk about another Atlantic Monthly Press title, Orbital, a novel from a house author for Grove and Atlantic Monthly, Samantha Harvey. She just keeps on getting better. And this, we basically sold out of our first printing before the book even published. It's like got an on sale, like a publishing date of December 5th, but it's in stores now. It doesn't have a hard and fast street date. And it's just a beautiful, it's staggering, beautiful prose, and it's basically a literary love letter to Earth, told through 16 orbits is what she's calling it. Each 4-minute chapter. It's also told through the points of view of 6 astronauts whose lives are intertwined in lots of ways, not just because they're all astronauts. These chapters contemplate death, beauty, deep time, and the wonder and fragility of existence, over the period of 24-hour period, basically. This is getting a lot of attention. Ari Shapiro is going to be interviewing Samantha Harvey on All Things Considered, which is super cool. There's major review coverage coming from New York Times, The New Yorker, Los Angeles Times, Atlantic Monthly, Christian Science Monitor. It's already been named a best book of 2023 by Oprah Daily, a most anticipated book of 2023 from Literary Hub, and most anticipated book of the fall by the LA Times as well. So across the board, this is getting some amazing early attention before it's even actually out. And I mean, that's a really great cover, right?
I'm glad you finally got to the cover, because it's like, can we talk about that cover? That is an amazing cover.
Yeah. And, you know, we'll have stock, in before, Christmas. There is some stock in the stores. There is, I think that maybe like some wholesalers have it, but, you know, order this, and put it on order, put it, you know, on order for when it comes into the stores.
Yep.
Because it's just something that's going to keep on selling very well.
Amanda, who's running the tech, she's already read it. She already commented. She loved it.
Yeah, she is just, every book that she puts out, she just like catapults, like it's like geometric like improvement in her writing. So it's really nice to see. And I'm going to pass it on to somebody else, because I don't want to take too much time up. I know we're busy, but check out this Orbital.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Gabe. Are you talking? Are you on mute, Gabe? We can't hear you. Nope.
How about now?
Now we can.
Oh,
Yep.
weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was unmuted, but I muted. Okay, cool. So Path to Paradise, a Francis Ford Coppola story by Sam Wasson. Sam Wasson's a big Hollywood writer. He did a book, Fifth Avenue, 5 a.m. for us years ago, a small little book about the filming of Breakfast at Tiffany's, which was so well reviewed, and we sold a ton of copies. We reissued it a couple different times. It was so successful, which doesn't happen often. So this is a look at, it's a nice, big, substantial look at American zoetrope and Francis Ford Coppola, and also some of his family dynamic, because his personal life is very tied into his professional life. American Zoetrope began he opened it up in 1969. The mission at American Zoetrope is to create interesting movies and using the latest technologies available to produce a quality product. So we get into the filming of Apocalypse Now, for example, which was hugely expensive and a huge boondoggle for him. He produced oh god, I can't remember the other movie that he produced, Always Coming Home or something like that, or Always a Homecoming, that he couldn't get financed. He had to put up like $8 million of his own funds to keep the movie going. So he's made a lot of sacrifices. There's a really fun, the critics panned it, but it's called The Offer. I think it's on Netflix or one of the streaming services. And it's all about, it's produced by Albert Ruddy, who was one of the guy who actually brought the idea of The Godfather to Coppola and got the whole group together. And so it's critics panned it. I thought it was fascinating.
I wanted to see it. I didn't have that particular streaming service, so I really wanted to watch that.
Yeah, I thought it was worth watching.
Yeah.
For some background. Anyways, a real interesting guy. The company has had a real interesting history. He's a non-compromising filmmaker. Talks about his relationship with George Lucas, who was kind of an apprentice of his, and how they went in different directions. Their vision of commercial and art varied a little bit, so they couldn't work together for much longer than they did. And Sam Wasson is a really good writer. I think anything that Sam Wasson writes, you'll notice has gotten outstanding reviews, and he's always writes a page turner. So a lot of fun for Southern California movie fans and fans of Coppola, fans of The Godfather, fans of Apocalypse Now.
I read his Chinatown book. I think that was him. I think he did the last book might have been a Chinatown book.
I think it was.
It's great, and it's surprising there hasn't been a Francis Ford Coppola book. I don't think there has been a book like this.
No, and I think this is another one of those, we're obviously talking in the gift season here. And so for anybody that is got any kind of movie, even if you think they have a glimpse of it, I think this would be really interesting for them for a gift.
I just read, maybe it's an excerpt from this book. I read about he's the uncle of Nicolas Cage. But there is a rival, like there's a rivalry between the two sides of that family, and so they're like he was raised with this famous director uncle, but he always wanted to kind of humble him in terms of money, especially.
Well,
I bet it was from the book.
Doesn't have a rivalry with Nicolas Cage.
True.
Yeah.
But I mean, but with your own uncle, I mean, I had no idea, but it's fascinating.
We won't talk about my family.
Yeah,
Anyways,
Tom,
Francis.
spoken like someone not from an Italian family. This feels very
Okay, it makes perfect sense.
totally right on the money to me.
all right, Tom.
Okay.
Gary, take it away.
My next book is The Manuscripts Club by Christopher DeHamel, who for a few years ago did a book for us called Meetings with Remarkable Manuscripts. So he is one of the world's great manuscripts men. He worked at Sotheby's and at Cambridge. And so manuscripts, there's no one who knows illuminated manuscripts, all kinds of manuscripts like he does. And what's fascinating about this book is he's telling the stories of the people like him who spent their lives with illuminated manuscripts all the way up to the Morgan Library today. So, you know, there's this chapter about a monk in Normandy, a prince of France, a Florentine bookseller, a rabbi from Central Europe, French priest, keeper at the British Museum, all fascinating figures. And he's actually a very good writer too. So the stories come to life. So this is definitely a, you know, book lovers, any book lovers, you know, in your life. You know, I don't have the finished book, I just have the cover, but this is a big book.
Okay, so it's not a gifty size thing. It's meaty.
No, yeah, and it's not a gifty size or price. It's even more expensive than the Barbra Streisand.
Wow.
Really?
because it's lavishly illustrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, as it should be. But for the right person, this is a great gift. Really a remarkable book, published to great acclaim in the UK last year, and now on sale here, The Manuscripts Club.
Kim LaRue's on here and she says, sounds like a great gift for librarians. Hint, hint.
Yes. Yes.
Must be a librarian that needs to give some hints for gifts. I love it. All right, Kim, what do you got for us next?
Okay. My next book is a cookbook. It's Start Here. Instructions for Becoming a Better Cook by Sola Alwali. And
Tom's holding it up too.
And it's huge. It's like almost 600 pages, and it's amazing. She's a chef, restaurateur, and sort of YouTube and video star. She's hosted series on Bon Appetit, History.com, and the New York Times. And the book is described as a one-stop culinary school in a book, without years of inescapable debt. And each chapter is like a class. It first discusses various fundamental concepts and basic food science, followed by recipes to practice. And it's really amazing. I love cooking, and I have a lot of cookbooks, and I've read a lot about cooking, and I'm blown away. I am learning so much from this. Like, Sam in Nazareth is is actually wrote the introduction, and she says, you know, I wish I had this when I was first starting out. You know, it would have saved me years of, of learning. And I totally agree. But I think this book is perfect for both novice cooks and very experienced cooks. It's really amazing. And the science part, she describes it's so much better than most of them. You know, she's very down, like she just is very I don't know, non-sciencey, a way of presenting some of the stuff that can be kind of intimidating. And it's full of photos, fun photos teaching you what this means, what that means, how to do this, how to do that. And it's on the back, like pretty much everyone you've ever heard of who's big in cooking has blurbed it. You know, Salman Nasrat, Oda Lenji, Padma Lakshmi, Christina Tosi, Molly Yeh, Carla Lally Music, everybody. It's just an incredible book, and it's a great gift.
I love it.
Or a gift for yourself.
I was just going to say a little me gifting, I think, is what that one is.
Yeah. And you know, and the recipes look really fun too. You know,
okay, my question about all cookbooks, do they show pictures of every recipe though?
Yeah, I think this one does.
Okay.
And
That's a must.
It's cool because, you know, you learn she discusses the science, the techniques, and then, you know, it's followed by recipes so you can practice. But but it's like she's teaching you to be sort of an intuitive cook, you know, so that you can take this basic recipe and then make it your own, totally different. You know, you can, so that's a kind of fun way to cook. Then you're not like tied to a cookbook.
Yep, agreed. Amanda's on here saying it's to be a good gift, like a graduation gift for kids.
Absolutely.
When you're kicking them out the door to
Absolutely.
go start cooking for themselves.
Or wedding, engagement, new baby. I mean, so many things. First apartment.
Yep. Awesome. All right, Julia. I think we're in lightning round now, aren't we?
Yep. Lightning round. So I have a fun thriller for the lightning round that's out today or out tomorrow.
I love her.
This is Patricia Cornwell's new book, Unnatural Death. This is a new Kay Scarpetta novel. If you don't already know, Kay Scarpetta is Patricia Cornwell's like big series. She's done, I think it's 30 something books.
Yep.
In the Kay Scarpetta series, I don't know, it's written somewhere in this, but it's so this is the next book in this series, and just a really fun thriller. I love Patricia Cornwell as well. I read years ago her book on Jack the Ripper, which I loved. But anyway, so that's my lightning round pick. I love
it. Always a good one.
Yeah,
always a good one with Patricia Cornwell, and I love that she's friends with Dan Aykroyd.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So we were supposed to host her, and he was gonna do the conversation or something, and because he was in town. Remember he did that like tequila or vodka in the skull? Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so he was supposed to come and do it, but the whole thing fell apart. Didn't end up hosting her, didn't end up hosting him. I was just like, the whole thing just completely fell apart. But anyways, or maybe we did end up hosting her, but Dan Aykroyd didn't come. Maybe we did host her. But anyways, yeah, I love that. And she's just such a badass. I mean, she like flies in her helicopter to go places and stuff. So it's like
Putnam, we go Putnam, we go way back with Case Scarpetta, that series. And
series, yeah.
Yeah.
She's pretty like I said, she's pretty much of a badass. I love it. All right. Okay, Andrea.
Right. I finally get to talk about another Britannica book. This is Britannica's Encyclopedia Infographica. Thousands of facts and figures about Earth, space, animals, the body, technology, and more revealed in pictures. So this is for visual learners.
Okay.
And it's a perfect gift companion to those of you that picked up Britannica's all-new Kids Encyclopedia a few years ago when it came out. That book continues to sell well, and we think this is going to have the same sort of long arc of interest from parents, librarians, teachers, grandmas, aunties, uncles, that sort of thing. It basically uses illustrations to reveal the information. Every page is underpinned by data and facts researched by all of the Encyclopedia Britannica experts and researchers, and then verified. So there's no fake facts here, my friends. And check this out. I mean, it's just like, it's so great because obviously it has text, but it just really shows, I mean, it just shows the richness of the illustrations.
Yeah. Here. Love those.
Wow.
So yeah, cool. I think this is a very special book for readers of all stripes, amongst ages, 10 to 14 age group. But definitely for visual learners, like kids who just really need a little visual stimulation to get excited about it. And this is, it's like another, big chunky book. 300 and almost 40 pages. I just think this is a great gift book for any kid on your list. So
Really good.
I already know who I'm buying that
Yep.
for. Thank you. You just check one off my list.
all
Yep,
right.
perfect.
There's a
Perfect.
big stack at Warwick's now.
Yes, there is. No, I love the illustrations on it. I love a book that does good, because like you said, they're visual learners that
Yeah.
just
I mean, it's
have
just
to
one of these
see.
books like we always talk about. I wish I had that when I was a kid, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep. Okay, Gabe.
They couldn't get color out of stone, girl.
Oh, ouch.
Casual.
Golly, get grumpy Gabe. Come on now.
It's Monday.
That's
Tomorrow's
always
second
Monday when
Monday.
we're here.
Tomorrow's second Monday.
Exactly.
So Neil Gaiman, this is a kid's book. It's coming out of our kids division. Neil Gaiman, What You Need to Be Warm, and it is a poem of welcome that he wrote. This is what the book looks like. This is what the interiors look like. A little
Ooh.
bit. Give you an idea of what the interiors are like.
Wow.
So it's a number of illustrators have teamed up with Neil to produce this really beautiful orange text product. You can't really see it, but it is a great looking 2-color, very monochromatic in the dark tones, grays and blacks, and very charcoaly looking, and then spots of orange throughout. So this is a poem of welcome that Neil wrote, and he gave the rights over to a couple of refugee groups who are using the book to raise some money. So it's all a good gesture in a lovely package. And I think anyone who is a Neil Gaiman fan, I know in my bookstores, whether it be a kid's book or whether it be an adult book, the adults want Coraline, the adults want this book,
Yep.
and kids want the older books as well. So he's a really unusual guy. Clive Barker and Neil Gaiman are the only, or the few people who you normally see. We'll see at least 3 generations showing up, grandkids, grandparents, parents.
Yep.
To signings. He's universally beloved. So a very nice gesture on his part. Lovely book. Great collaboration of people. I should know who's in here, and I would let you know, but you can check it out.
Yep.
It's stacked everywhere.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's one of those also that if you're ever anywhere that he's doing a reading or anything, just go see Neil Gaiman. Just even if you only do once in your life, it's like, and he's pretty generous with signing. Like he'll do a pre-signing. He doesn't do a public signing, but he pre-signs books. I mean, people will wait hours in line to get a signed book that he signed. So, yeah, he's an amazing guy.
For decades, since before he even did real books, when he was doing the Sandman comics and things like that.
Yeah. So Kim was commenting again on here. She said one of her goals was 23 was to read more backlist, but we're ruining that for her with all of these good new titles.
Totally.
So she's she's asked us, and we promised to do this at one point, and maybe after the first of the year would be a good time to do it, or after the holidays, maybe that one in between thing. Maybe we should do a backlist.
Always love digging into the backlist.
Yeah. And I skipped you, Andrea, didn't I?
No.
You did the Britannica book.
Oh God, yeah. Okay. See, I'm
Pay
just
attention,
like,
Julie.
I am. It's obviously after a long weekend. I'm not going to use Monday as an excuse. I'm just going to use I'm still in a food coma, I think. So.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Definitely.
Oh my God. Okay, Tom.
Okay.
Are you next?
I'm
Who's
next.
hosting this show anyway?
So I'm going to take you back to a little backlist, as it turns out.
Oh, there you go.
And front list and backlist. But so this book is called Chasing Bright Medusas, A Life of Willa Cather. And this is the antithesis of the Barbra Streisand, because look at it, how concise it is. This is a life. It's not trying to be a full biography of Willa Cather. It's trying to give the reader a true, deep introduction to her life in like 150 pages. We should have more books like this. And but the author is Ben Taylor, who is just a gorgeous writer and thinker. really deep kind of thinker. So he's just the kind of person you want to write a book like this. And it really, gets to the heart of the life of Willa Cather in a way that, sometimes even big biographies don't actually get to. So I think it's kind of amazing. So this is the just out in hardcover. And then to coincide, Penguin Classics is bringing out a new edition of Death Comes for the Archbishop. So there you go with some backlists, which I haven't read since high school or something. But it's set in the Southwest. And there's a new introduction by Kali Fajardo Anstein, I'm not sure if I said that right, but she's the author of help me out. Do y'all know?
No.
We all know she made a big splash. I can't remember the name of the book a couple of years ago. Anyway, she did the introduction, and it's a beautiful introduction to this novel of the Southwest, because she's a writer. She lives in Denver, and this book spoke to her in a way. And she recounts like a moment when she was doing a reading, and they asked what she's reading, and said, "I'm reading Death Comes for the Archbishop." And then simultaneously she read something or even met Billy Collins, and he was reading Death Comes for the Archbishop. So it's a book that is ripe for rediscovery. So Willa Cather's Death Comes for the Archbishop.
Okay, so while Kim's doing hers, Tom, look up what that book is, and we'll give you a minute afterwards.
Oh,
to tell
I
us.
got it. I do have it here. It's Sabrina and Karina, which we
didn't
publish,
right.
But it was nominated for the National Book Award. And then her second book was Woman of Light.
Okay, there you go. All right, because I knew that we would need to know those.
Yeah.
Dee's on here. I belong to a classics book club, and there's such a desire that we had to cap membership for the classics. Yeah. We'll be getting the go on this one. Yep.
Yeah. Great.
I love it. All right, Kim, wrap us up.
Okay. I don't really have a last book, but I'm just going to wing this guy because it's been selling so well. And I think it's a great gift book. And it's Cocktails, the new classics. It's a Cider Mill press book. They do a ton of cocktail books of various sizes. This one is big. It's a coffee table size book, I'd say.
Oh.
And it's gorgeous. It has a, cloth cover, and it's thick pages, pictures of every drink, just really beautiful book. Like people have reviewed it, and they say, I put it on my coffee table, and all my guests spend the whole evening just poring over it. They
I love it.
And it has 500 recipes from all over the world by the famous from the bars who develop them. So
very cool.
Yeah, which is super cool.
Yeah.
And not only do they have all these cool mixologists teaching you how to make their cool drinks that they serve at their hot bars, but also tips for purchasing, the different kinds of liquor and spirits for your at-home bar, and recipes for lots of homemade ingredients, the syrups, the infusions, the tinctures, the foams. So, which is super cool if you're into that. And anyway, I think it's a really fun book, either for yourself or
again, another good gift.
Another great gift. And it's been selling really well since it came out. I mean, people look at it and they just are like, wow, I gotta have this.
Yeah. Good New Year's gift.
Great New Year's gift.
365 day a year gift.
There you go. Hey, if there's 500 recipes, we can have 2 drinks a day.
Great.
Almost. Your math is not very good.
My math is terrible. That's why I'm in books.
But I'm with you.
Yeah.
That's why I'm in books. If I was good in math, I'd be doing something other.
I was like, I'm like, what is she doing wrong?
I don't know. Double 365.
More than 1, but not quite 2.
2. I don't know. Okay, before we go though, I gotta know, Tom.
Yeah.
Did you go to the bakery I told you to go to?
Okay, I didn't, but Anne and Stella went, and they brought back, because I had, long story, I was on a different flight. I left earlier than Anne, so she went and said it was amazing, just as amazing as it looked in that video. So thank you.
Oh my God, I don't even know the name of it. I have to find that out, but I was just like, when I saw it, I was like, if I ever do go, I will go.
Yeah, and strangely, maybe I told you this, it's in Stella's neighborhood.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
did not know that.
she's staying in the right neighborhood.
Wow.
Yeah, she is. Like, she's got that to
Wow.
go to and get her croissants every day. She's she's
Exactly.
there you go. All
Yeah.
right, everybody. Hope y'all had a good long weekend. You've got some more good books to read or gift give for this week. We will be back again next week. We're still trying to decide what we're doing for Christmas and New Year. I have a feeling that we might be going dark on those 2 days, but
Ooh.
I don't know. We're gonna have to play that one by ear. We're gonna see what happens. So
Still early to call those.
Could
too
always
early to call. We still got some time to make some plans. We might
could do a day after.
no, that's just not the same. It's
You
like
think?
celebrating
Mondays at
Thanksgiving
4.
on
Mondays at
Friday. You
4.
can't do it. Tea time's on Monday.
Wednesday night football, man.
Yeah, Tuesday just can't do it.
I could do
Uh,
it.
All right, everybody. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.